Hey, I'm Emma, and I just want to share a little story with you today about the ant's nest in the kettle. So, I came downstairs about 6 months ago and did what most people would do first thing in the morning. I went straight to my kettle to switch it on and make a cup of tea or coffee. But I noticed there were a bunch of black ants around the top of the handle, so I thought that's weird. And as I started moving the kettle around, all these ants just started coming out of it. Like there must have been hundreds in this thing. And in hindsight, I had noticed random ants on my bench tops in the weeks leading up to that. So obviously they were actually setting up home in the inner compartment of my kettle jug, and I didn't realize until this one morning when they had all just moved in. Um, it was a cordless. I took it off the power element bit and just threw the jug into a sink full of water in the hopes of flooding all of these ants out and thinking I might be able to save this kettle and keep using it. But no, they just kept coming, and I thought, you know what? There's actually an ant's nest in here. It needs to go. So I went and threw the kettle into the recycling, and I figured it is, just a bit of metal and some hard plastics. So surely that's recyclable. I don't know whether it is or not. You can let me know in the comments whether I made the right move there. But at the end of the day, it was a $7 plastic kettle from Kmart. So I thought it's time to go. And then I started researching because I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy a new kettle, I might as well actually get one that I want this time rather than just the cheap, get you going sort of kettle. And I just couldn't figure out whether I was going to go for glass or stainless steel. So in the end, I've just been using my pot on the stove to boil water, and it's been working really well. So would I recommend this in place of a kettle? I don't know that I would. Like for me, I'm the only one in the house who boils water for tea and coffee. So I can just pour 1 cup of water in there, boil that. It doesn't take too long, especially with the lid on. So as I said, this has been about 6 months that I've been doing the pot on the stove. There have been only 3 times that I've thought, man, I wish I had a kettle right now. And that was twice when I had guests over, and boiling up 3 cups of water takes so much longer in the pot on the stove. So it reminded me of that saying, a watch pot never boils. Like it really felt like that. But then at the same time, we were just standing around chatting anyway, so it didn't really matter. And the only other time is when my daughter wanted to cook noodles, and she usually would have boiled up the water in the kettle, but I had to show her how to do it in the pot on the stove. And then as a mum, I'm thinking, I hope she remembers to turn the stove top off. So, for safety reasons, a kettle is a lot safer. But yeah, I'll show you my quick little routine, and actually I quite like it because, as you can see, like the kettle would have sat right next to the air fryer on the bench there, which was taking up a lot of bench space. So I actually just prefer having the extra bench space, to be honest. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so I just have a bottle of water here because our town water is filled with fluoride and chemicals. So I actually go to a local water station in town and just fill up my own 10-litre bottles with water, and at the station it takes out the fluoride and the chemicals. So just to make life easier, I just fill up a 1-litre bottle of water and leave it here on the bench. So I'll just pour in however much I will need. I'm just going to do like a small tea today. So that way you measure out your water, chuck it into the kettle. So that way you're not waiting for water to boil that you're not even going to use. Put the lid on, and that way it'll boil heaps quicker. Put it onto high, and that's it. You can get your tea bag ready and usually go off and make a slice of toast or something, but you can't leave the kitchen where you've got a pot on the stove. I have boiled one dry accidentally, which gives us good cause for the electric kettle, but all right, that'll probably take a minute or 2. All right, you can hear that the kettle, or the pot rather, is boiling now, so we'll just switch it off. I'll just put the lid in the sink out of the way. You can pour your water. And that's it. Just put the pot in the sink to dry. You can just give it a wipe out if you want to speed up the drying process. And then that can go back in the cupboard and you still have all this amazing bench space and you can go relax and enjoy your cup of tea and coffee.